Pebbles are interesting. They're small rocks. They look tiny from a distance. They are tiny when we're near them. And oftentimes, if we're wearing shoes, we can step on them. And depending on how small a pebble they are, the small ones, we don't even notice unless they get stuck in our tread and we hear scraping sounds. And even the slightly bigger ones, we might just barely notice it, and then it's such a small noticing that 15 seconds later we've forgotten. But if we're on wheels, particularly something like roller skates or rollerblades, even bicycles can still do this, depending on the size of the pebble. That small pebble can cause a crash. If it hits the wheel just right, then the person can go flipping, the bike can go sideways. Not fun. It's kind of, on a side note, kind of like it's unpleasant to think about this, but people point out that we can look at almost anything in the world and know what it tastes like, thanks to the fact that we were babies once upon a time, I've heard it put. Don't want to think about that. Similarly, because of the fact that the learning curve of learning how to be on bicycles and rollerblades when we're younger, I may not remember the crashes, but I can look at a pebble and I can go, I know exactly what the crash would feel like. Yikes. So there are things I'm realizing that, to me, it might seem like a small deal, but if my children experience it in certain situations, it's like a pebble, and they could end up crashing. And if I were to tell them, it's a small deal, what's your problem? It would hurt them so much. Like if someone got flipped over in a rollerblading or bike accident, and I said, what's the big deal? It's just a small pebble. Yeah, well, that small pebble caused real pain. Today we were at a, not really a birthday party, but both my sons, a friend of both my sons had his birthday party, and more like a family birthday party. We went to say hi and take some cinnamon rolls. And towards the end of it, I was talking with my son's friend's dad, because we're also buddies. And as we're about to leave, my son's getting ready, comes back, because I hang out with his friends, comes back, sees me stalling, goes back to see his buddies. Finally, he's right there waiting. And I'm still talking to my buddy, so I tell him, go ahead and have a minute. He goes, okay. And I hear him run off excitedly, go, my dad said I got a minute. Well, it's been about 30, 40 seconds later, exactly, our conversation ends. I said, okay, buddy, time to go. He comes running, and there's tears in his eyes. He goes, but you said I had a minute. And I realize I'm thinking, minute, 40 seconds, same thing. But to him, it was painful. And I looked at him, and I said, would it have been easier for you if I just kept you with me versus telling you go have 1 minute and giving you some false hope for basically no time? He said, yeah. I said, I'm sorry, buddy. And as he walked to the car, I said, you know what? I admire how you handled that. I'm sorry, that wasn't very thoughtful of me. To me, it looked like a pebble, but it was like he was rollerblading and it gave him a crash, and I needed to acknowledge that for him.